website, by the way. It's fantastic. I encourage everybody to come check out that website. It's terrific. And James, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much.
I know you have a nice announcement that you'd like to make on video.
Yeah, well, I just finally got, I signed my fight that I've been trying to get for a long time, and we had a rocky road to get into the fight in this organisation, and it wasn't so much the organisation that I was after, it was more the fight that I was looking for, and I just signed it finally with Rico Rodriguez. He's going to meet me at a catch weight at 215. He said he was coming down to 205, but he says he's 215 now, but I don't believe him. So we believe he's probably around 230 since he looked at his last fight in November. So we're going to do a catch weight at 215, and we're going to fight on February 26th.
It's got to be very exciting knowing that you're going to be fighting the former heavyweight UFC champion of the world, of course.
It's an absolute honour to fight someone of that calibre. First of all, I mean, before the paper gets signed, it's an honour, but then now the paper's signed, to be honest, it means nothing to me. He's just another opponent that I have to fight and take very seriously, and I train every day, multiple times a day, to make sure that I take my job very seriously, and I make sure I get the result that I need and I want. Anywhere with someone like Rico, I mean, his jiu-jitsu is probably one of the highest level in his prime, no matter what weight he was when he was a champion for the UFC. I mean, his jiu-jitsu has never gone away from his technical work. Maybe his stamina went less when he gained weight, and maybe he went off the rails, but his jiu-jitsu will be still very strong, and that's something you have to highly respect. When I step into the cage with him, I respect his jiu-jitsu no end, but this isn't a jiu-jitsu fight or a tournament, this is an MMA fight, and anything can happen, and I'm 100% confident in the outcome.
I know that you've been killing yourself in training. Obviously, we've been reading documentation of it on Twitter and everywhere else, and seeing, obviously, the effects of training here. And tell us a little bit about how training, not only in Colorado, but training specifically at Rhino and with your other coaches too, how's that really shaped and molded your new game?
Well, I finally made the decision to move to Denver like nearly 10, 11 months ago, and I was with the former team at Garage at the time, and me and the head coach didn't see eye to eye before my last fight, and we decided to make a separation. And to be honest with you, it just I'm already I fought in the official K1 in Japan and all over the world in K1, so striking is not an issue for me. And seeing I come from the UK, we don't wrestle at all in the UK in high school at any level. So I took some advice from Richard and King Mo, and they were training here down at Rhinos, and they said to me that it was the highest level of wrestling that they had found. And when you come from two caliber wrestlers at the highest level of fights that they fight at, you would kind of be stupid not to take that advice. And as soon as it was on my doorstep, that's when I decided to make the change. I came down and met Ryan and the team, and they took me in like a family, to be honest. And ever since that day, we've been training hard together, working on my wrestling game, and making me a more complete fighter. The transition from Thai boxing or K1 to MMA is a very tough transition.
Sure.
And I think I spent too much time polishing boxing and stopping takedowns rather than actually recognising wrestling, and Ryan's been a key factor to that right now, and I think I'm actually understanding the game a little bit more than I have ever done before.
I can understand that, and you know, with that being said, you obviously have to kind of formulate a game plan for a guy like Rico. No, unlike, you know, everybody else, Rico's kind of a unique fight. Do you agree? What do you plan to do without giving up too much, of course? I mean, I don't think it's that big of a secret, but,
yeah.
You know, what do you plan to do against Rico? And
it's an obvious game plan for both of us.
Right.
He's gonna get me on my back, or on his back as to the ground as fast as possible, and I want to keep it standing up.
Sure.
And it's going to be more than a matter of who has the better game plan on the day and who could execute it the best. And, you know, like I said before, Rico's a very dangerous opponent. I mean, you could be beating the guy, which I've seen in some of his previous fights, that he's been losing the fight and then pull off a great submission. And that's always the danger when you meet high-level jiu-jitsu guys like these.
True.
They can pull a submission out of nowhere, and when you're in your, you know, you look at the Fedor's fight, you know, Verdun, you know, you pull off a submission like that, and people can call it what they want. They can call it lucky. They can say like a lucky punch. There's no such thing. He went for a submission and he got it. That's not lucky.
I agree.
And lucky punch is exactly the same, and that's the kind of threat that I have with Rico. But then the threat goes both ways. The longer, every second he stands on his feet is 1 second closer to him getting knocked out.
That's true.
And anytime this match gets, you know, to a stalemate, they're going to stand us up, and then he's back in my court. So I hope he's prepared for that.
And I know that you have some sponsors that you'd like to thank.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jacko. I have my own signature T-shirt range in Milfordale. You can get on my Hammer T-shirt range, and VPX Redline, a nutrition sponsor of mine. and just in general, everyone that's helped me along the way. I mean, just thank you to everybody.
That sounds awesome. And Facebook and Twitter, very active.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. I have a few accounts. James McSweeney. It's easy to find me, and on Twitter it's at McSweeney MMA. And you can find me, follow on there, and keep up to date with anything that's going on. And you know, it's easy for us.
When is the fight?
February 26th.
And it's for who?
It's going to be on BAMA, which is a big organisation in the UK. They're going to put it at the Manchester MEN Arena, where the UFC was held, and they hold a lot of the British boxing there. It's 20,000-30,000 people strong. So it's
very famous arena.
Yeah, it's a famous arena, and Paul Daly's going to be on the show too. Me and Paul Daly are the main event. So it's an exciting card, and I can't wait to go back home to my British fans and put on a good show.
I'm sure they're very excited to see you for sure too. To close, let's take a couple seconds.